guys, this is Crystal, and today I'm working on week 17 of my 2018 Project Life album. You can see I already have my photos printed and trimmed and laid out where I think I want them. I've also gone through my Citrus Twist kits. This is the April Pocket Life kit, and I've picked out some cards that I think I want to use. These 3 cards are all from the kit. These 2 are from Citrus Twist. They're part of a separate pack of cards that you can buy from their shop. They're blank and grid cards and just a variety of very versatile cards that you can use in any spread. And because all 3 of these were very white, they have a lot of white space, and there are grids on 2 of them. There weren't any other lighter cards like that in the kit, so I chose to grab a couple of these out of that, that separate pack instead. And then I'm just going to do lots of embellishing, I think, to add color and to make the spread really cohesive and tie in all the colors in the cards that are here. So I am going to put you on fast forward and get started.
So I'm going to start by going through the embellishments that I had pulled out before I started recording the video, and these are just from the die cut set that came in the kit, and some of them are from the cut apart sheet that came with the kit as well. And I just went through and pulled out ones that I thought I might use in this spread, ones that had sayings that went with the photos, or some labels that I knew I would need throughout the spread, and kept to kind of the same color scheme that I have going so far. So once I have those on the photos that where I think I might use them, I certainly won't use all of these. I'm just putting them down where I think they might go so that I can decide as I work through each photo. And I end up actually using quite a few more embellishments than I normally do. It feels rather busy to me in the end, but I'm happy that I got to use the embellishments, and overall I'm still happy with how the spread turned out. So I'm just going to look through the other embellishments that came with the kit, and I see one of the leatherette stickers that I know will work really well with this photo of our friend playing guitar at an open mic. It says "Time to Play," which just seems kind of perfect. So I'm going to add it and a label that says "Let's do this," and then also a label for my journaling. And I'm going to add them at a slight angle just to add some interest, since I'm doing lots of stacking up of labels and phrases on these photos. I thought I would try doing them, stacking them just at slight angles to each other, just to give it a little bit more interest and not feel like everything's just stacked up on the page evenly. And I'm not sure that I'll do that again. I was just playing around and seeing if it works, and it doesn't not work, but it's maybe not my favorite look. I tend to like things to be rather straight. So that one is all done. I'm going to move on to the photo next to it. And I have this little tab, and I know that I want to use it to add the date to this card. And then there's that little cork piece as well that says "Stay at Home Kind of Day." And it was a stay-at-home kind of day for me, so it works really well with this photo. So I'm going to use that tab at the top to add the date, but I'm going to adhere it down so I don't accidentally smudge it by moving it around. And I'm just overlapping it with that phrase at the top that says "day," and then I'm going to circle the W for Wednesday, since this was on a Wednesday, and add the date, and then add that label for my journaling and the cork piece to the bottom of the card. So next I'm going to move on to this photo of Jessie with our cat Nacho. And I have a couple phrases. One says "pure happiness," that pink one, and then the blue one says "look at all this goodness." But it's just a little bit too long for the card. It tends to cover up too much of the photo, so I'm just going to cut it in half and stack it up on top of each other, and put both pieces on top of that label that says Pure Happiness. I was thinking for a moment that I might want to use those word phrase stickers. Those yellow ones were from the grab bag that I bought when I bought my May kit. So they didn't come in the April kit, but they were just an extra that came in the grab bag, and I thought I might use them to add some more yellow to the spread, but I end up not using them at all. So now that those are stacked, I'm going to add a staple, and this is an American Craft stapler. It's a gold stapler, and it holds my gold staples, which is a trick that I learned from Jen Scow. So the gold staples go in the gold stapler. It makes it very easy, and I don't have to switch them out in my tiny attacher. And I was able to find that little stapler on it was at Tuesday morning, actually, so it was really inexpensive, so it was worth it just to have the two always handy. So for this one, I'm just doing the same thing. I'm stacking up a couple little embellishments, and I'm going to add a gold staple to that as well. And then I'm going to move on to this middle card. So for this one, I know that I want to cut out the top of that heart so that my photo will kind of slide behind it, and it will overlap my photo. So I pulled out a cutting mat and just a X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to carefully cut around the top of the heart down to where that little yellow stripe is. And I don't make you watch me do this whole thing. I will cut away here in a second while I finish making sure that it's cut all the way through. I do end up having to get out my scissors. I think my blade is old. It wasn't very sharp, so I just grabbed my scissors and finished cutting it out. And now I can add my photo behind that little tab that I created. So I also had this little heart that was from the cut apart sheet that is just like the heart on the card, but in yellow instead of blue. And I'm just working out where I want to put it on the spread. I thought at first I would want it at the bottom, but I decided to add it to the top instead. And I'm going to add a couple staples, one to each heart. And then I feel like it needs just a little something else. So I think, first I'm going to add my journaling. So in the white space at the bottom of the grid card, I'm just going to add a few lines of journaling, and then I feel like it needs something else. So I think about maybe adding a word phrase sticker, but I couldn't really find one that worked, so I grabbed the stamp set that came with this kit, and there's a little stamp that says Cozy Vibes, so I'm going to use that. And I have a little visitor on my desk. My cat Scrunchy has decided to join me, so she will be in the frame just a little bit, and then I have to go away for a second to put her back down on the floor since she decided she wanted to start knocking things over. But then it's on with the layout. Okay, so next I am going to work on these bottom two cards. I'm going to start with this one that's in the corner, and I'm just kind of putting all the things that I had pulled out on the card to see what will fit and what will work, and what I'm really going to need to add the journaling and the date and that sort of thing. And I have these 4 items on there, but I'm not really sure what journaling I want to write yet, that is. So I'm going to do this one first since they go together, and get part of the journaling down here, and then fill in the rest of it on the other card. So again, I put that phrase sticker, phrase label that says "So ready for this." I put it at a slight angle to echo what I did on the card on the top row of my spread, and then I'm just going to add my journaling, and that's going to be it for that card. And now for this one, it just is a little bit too busy for me, so I took away that tag, and I'm going to stick with just this little tab at the top, and that's where I'm going to put my date. And then I'm going to add the label and this die cut that says "Life was meant for good times and good friends." I'm going to add that to the bottom, and I'm going to end up putting it so that it goes off the card a little bit, so that I'll have to trim it off. And I thought about putting it all the way in the corner so that I would have to trim it on 2 sides, but I ended up just putting it off the one side. And I like how it interacts with the edge of the spread that way. And now I'm going to add my journaling. Oh, nope, first I'm going to add another phrase sticker. There was one that says, "Love these humans," which is really perfect for this photo. So I add that, and then I'm just going to write about how thankful I am to have such great friends here in my little hometown. And of course, I misspell the word friends because I'm terrible at writing. So I just used my white gel pen to cover up my mistake, and I'll go back later and spell the word correctly. So I'm going to move on to my title card, and the card I chose has a little label built right into it. So I'm just going to use that to add my date, and I'm just using the first 2, I guess the date without the month and year for the first one. So it says the 23rd through the 29th of April 2018. So I just had to partially ink up that stamp to get it to work out that way. And now I'm just going to layer some of the leftover embellishments that I have pulled out on this card, and before I add the week number. So I had a bunch of these in this kind of same color scheme, and I thought they worked really well in this card, and I'd like to get them used up, so I'm just going to add all of them. And I was thinking about using this alpha, which is in the same colorway as a lot of the elements on the card, but some of the numbers were more pink, and it just didn't look right to me. So instead I'm going to pull out this black puffy alpha that came in the previous month's kit in the March kit, and use it to put week 17 on the title card. And I like this much better than sticking with all, the whole thing being kind of monochromatic. And look, you guys, I have a tweezers. I have a tweezers to use with these little alphas, so I don't struggle nearly as much as I normally do. It worked so beautifully. I'm so happy that I finally got a pair of tweezers. It's a really small thing, but it makes me very happy, and it was a huge improvement. So now that my title card is basically done, I'm just going to add a little staple, actually 2 little staples to the top, where the top of the tag where there's a hole. Instead of adding twine, I'm just going to add staples just to make that hole look a little less awkward. And then I'm going to add a couple staples here, and the only thing I have left to do is to fill in that card that says around here, and I'm going to actually take that to my typewriter and type up some journaling on it, and then I'm just going to add another little phrase sticker to the top of it and a staple, and that's basically going to be it. I think I add maybe one more phrase sticker to the photo in the top right corner, but otherwise that is the spread pretty much done. I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me to know that you enjoyed watching this. And if you aren't already a subscriber, be sure to subscribe to get notified when I upload new videos. I try to upload 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So thank you again for watching, and everyone have a great day.